Yo, greetings, goddesses and gods. Let's take a moment of silence for those who captured in the bars of their own mind, by these magical bars that we create in our own mind and keep us mentally enslaved. But we don't realize that these bars were placed there through our environment. Inikimonoko, nekanimanahishtiki Kimakumu kukukuela hikimo no kukukuli kikimono monokila anayata sukumona isikimono kukukila. Okay, as we get intense in this energy, right, that we're going through, I just want to say like one thing that I've noticed, and I'm a man of patterns. Not a man, I am one of patterns who recognize these patterns and so forth, because when you recognize patterns before you, then you can predict the future. You dig? Alright, so what I'm going to do is, I don't want to do anything like this, I don't want to talk about this shit, but I noticed a pattern. And what I'm going to talk about is the election. And I don't want to really talk about it because it's really not an election. It's just a fucking fantasy made up place that people do shit and so forth and so forth. But what I want to get to is, first of all, I'm not red or blue, because if I have to choose red or blue, then I'm divided. First of all, I'm divided because I have to choose something. I'm going to divide myself because of what? Because of some crap. And first of all, this red and blue, they work for the same company. It's the same company, United States Corporation. And actually, your body is a corporation. Think about that. Your body is a corporation under maritime law. But that's a whole different story. But I'm not going to get into that right now. What I'm going to get into is the division of red and blue. These are false. First of all, we're on land. We live on land. We don't live in a company, but we do, because when it was incorporated, it was stipulated that we are to be citizens and not an employee of this place. And we're citizens of the United States Corporation. They made us citizens, but we're not. We're not really anything. But they own our body. But let's not get into that. We're not going to get into that right now. The red and the blue, right? Now, if I recall 4 years ago, these people, 4 years ago, this group of people said that the election was interfered through Russia, right? Russia interference. And these people spent 4 years figuring this shit out and what the fuck was going on, why, trying to prove shit and all this. 4 years, okay? They're still doing it. These same people that said that there was an election, sun god, these same people that has been saying and trying to, there's an old saying that it says, make a lie. And if you make it simple enough, you keep repeating it and repeating it and repeating, eventually people will believe it. Do you know where that came out of? Do you know who said that in the book? In one of his books, it was one of the was a propaganda minister for Germany back in World War II. Propaganda minister. He was a minister. I don't remember his name. That's not the point. I really don't give a fuck. It's just the point is that he said it. That it was said. And what are words? Words are swords, cutting. Anyway, these same people that have been claiming this for 4 years, or actually for probably the last time too, but whatever, we're not going to get into that. For 4 years, we've been hearing about all this nonsense, pushing agendas, pushing. What are they doing? First of all, they're dividing us. But let's not look. 4 years they spent telling us, Russia, this, you stole the election, right? Listen to what I'm saying. Now, what do we have now? What's going on now? These same people that are claiming that the election was stolen 4 years ago are saying you can't rig an election. You cannot rig an election. There's no fraudulent elections. No, it's not possible. These same people are telling you now that that's not possible. There's no way that rigged elections is a fake news. So, but the point in all this crap is that it divided me from myself, you see. And this is the agenda of the red and blue to begin with, which is really 3D, it's third dimensional. And what it is they make you believe in things that are very important, like we have to be racing around. We have no time to think because we're too busy worried about the mortgages and the 5 jobs that you have to maintain to just survive. That's an agenda. And what that is soul theft. This is soul stealing. Your soul is being stolen from you because you can't study yourself. You can't study the inner kingdom within. They steal it from you. All by choosing a color. Now, however you look at those colors, whatever. But, you know what I'm saying? This spiritual power is being stripped. Because people don't want to, they don't allow us to look into things because we don't have time. When really time doesn't exist. Time only exists for people, for what people are doing on the, that's what time really is for what people are doing. Filling in time. We are time. Time don't exist. Time, the earth doesn't go by time in increments. It goes by seasons, which you flow in and out of. So we flow in and out of these seasons. So the pattern is that why is this? Why are they doing this? You know, so they know that the collectivity energy, the collective's energy is so vulnerable that they can just swoop it right up, pick it up like it's theirs, and not care about what you think or what you do. As long as you get sick, then they care. Then you care. Listen to what we're saying here. Then they care. So why do they care? Because you're paying them to tell you what's wrong with you. That's why. That's why they care. Because if you didn't pay them, why would they give a fuck? They want you to get sick. They want you to be distracted. They don't want you to look into the symbology of life. They don't want you to look in the fantasies when really, you know, that's just what it is. Because there's other things that operate outside of what we see to get here to begin with. Just like the body. The body was after the voice. The voice came and we created the body. We was traveling in this voice's dimension to be here in the earth, to be in this dimension. It created the body, the outer extension of itself, to be in this dimension. So if that voice is creating the body, what else is that voice creating? What else is it creating? And not only that, what is it creating now in the body? It's got to constantly be creating because it's energy. Energy don't die. Energy will never die. It'll fizzle out depending on where your attention goes to, depending on how much you pay. You know what I'm saying? So that's where it'll go. And then just like the dividing and conquer. See, the earth has already split. It's been split. These little dimensions and these little universes, they're already split. It's just how you perceive it. Like, to me, that whole thing doesn't even exist. It's got nothing to do with me. Yeah, I'm part of the game. I'm playing the game a little bit, but I'm also using the game against them. by being self-employed, thinking for myself, doing things for myself, independent. They don't want independent people. Blue or red, they don't want independent people. The red wants big business. Big business. Big business. The blue, they want your health. They want your mentalness. That's what they want. They want your soul, pretty much. The red has a soul too, because you're working forever, just so they can extract their money. Because in the end of all this, the one who's doing the extracting is the banks, and this U.S. corporation is the best. Who owns the corporation is the banks. It's a group of bankers, and we don't need to go over all this. We've been going over this, but we need to keep pushing and pushing. We need to keep pushing this group of bankers. But the problem is these group of bankers, the ones that started the system, back in the whatever the fucking back in the land of Canaan, in the Canaanites. That's where pretty much this banking system started. But the thing is that banking system has now collapsed. There is no more United States corporation. That's what we believe, that because we've been sold that. So the banking system is a new banking system. If you've been paying attention to who I don't want to call him president. I want to call him CEO. The CEO of the United States corporation has specifically appointed certain people throughout the banking industry, the banking system, the Supreme, all of these things. Think, pay attention. Look around you. Look, don't make it complicated, because you will see your ignorance. Make it simple. Make it respond to your perception. Make it mean something that represents you as an individual, not as a red or blue or a collective. Fuck the collective. We can change the collective by changing ourselves. Don't vote. Fuck it. We are in our own worlds. And when you really see that, by the way, today is November 11th. I want to bless all the veterans out there. I'm very sorry for even disrespecting you, for even not even. I forgot. Don't crucify me. Even though I was crucified a long time ago, back in the early days when they used to crucify philosophers. Back then they were called philosophers. Now we're just called psychotic, crazy people that don't live in ordinary space. That's pretty much in a nutshell. So the same people, remember, see what's going on. Why are these same people telling you the different story now, 4 years between? Why was it 4 years different? Why was it different then and now it's different now? How can you have a big election rig 4 years ago and now you can't even do that? Well, oh no. Listen to what's going on. Project. They are projecting. Listen. They are projecting. 4 years ago, they projected. It's a projection. Listen. It's a projection. Why would they project? 4 years ago, they're projecting a reality. On how they see reality. Right? 4 years ago. And now, what are they projecting now? You see what I'm saying? They've created the future by projecting that. And 4 years ago, they projected the future. Because how you can tell the future is pay attention to what's going on right now by the omens and shit and all that around you. Hey, I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just a media. I'm a middleman. for the non-ordinary reality and the ordinary reality. That's all I am. I'm a medium. Big fucking deal. But hey, and I get these labels like psychotic and delusional and all this other religious delusions and mystical whatever, psychosis and all this other crap that people just write to me on all this shit. Hey, I don't give a fuck. But why is that? You see what I'm saying? You see how you create the future? They projected the future. But what do I know, right? What do I know? Hey, I'm gonna get out of here. Thanks for listening and all that bullshit. I didn't want to have to go over all that, but we're done now. We're done. And peace, love, and all that other happiness bullshit. But be real, be unique, be inspiring, and go with it. I'll see you guys soon.